I am one of 8.3 billion people navigating life's complexities. Along the way, I found Toastmasters during a period of self discovery as I strive to reclaim my old self after facing various setbacks. Toastmasters has taught me that inner confidence and strength are closely tied with how we present ourselves. With a focus on growing both inside and out, I begin my journey with the Arcadia Toastmasters Club, eager to turn a new chapter in life. I was a very precocious child with a wide range of interests, very atypical for my peer group. While my classmates used to talk about Pokemon and Dragon Ball Z, I was engulfed in my mental time machine, which traversed all the way back to the ancient days of civilization. It began with a passion for Hindu and Greek mythology and later merged into a passion for history and geography. When I met other children, I would ask them so many questions about world geography that they would cover their ears and say I was giving them a headache. At that point, I knew that we had nothing in common. By the time I was 8 years old, I had written mini biographies on several world leaders, had made a long timeline of Indian history, and had drawn maps of nearly all geographical world regions. In middle school, I was a finalist in the National Geography Bee for 2 years in a row without ever having studied for it. While I knew this set me apart, I believed so much in myself that I did not care to fit in with any norm. This belief in myself faltered in high school, middle school, when rigid teachers suppressed my creativity and pressured me to conform. At the same time, my parents' painful divorce left me feeling like a ping pong ball tossed between them as lawyers and psychologists fueled the conflict. I became withdrawn, believing that my life no longer mattered, and I gave up on trying to do anything meaningful. I was ready to withdraw completely, spending time with a group of high school dropouts until a few people, family, friends, some teachers, and my parents never stopped believing in me. They remembered that curious 8-year-old boy who made world maps and timelines. They saw beyond the withdrawn teenager, recognizing my love for learning and helping others. As my high school principal used to say, I am waiting to see the old Nikhil. It sometimes feels as if I have had to discover my entire identity from ground up. I have explored different religions, have tried to fit in with everyone, even if we had nothing in common, and have started and backtracked from a few different degree programs. At the end of the day, none of these things worked, and I felt very disheartened. I was ready to give up on everything until I just decided that I would try to be myself again. After years of barking up the wrong tree and trying to become someone who I was not, I began seriously reflecting on who I really was and where my strengths lay. As I looked back on my life, I remembered what several teachers had told me. You have a real gift for writing. These words sparked an aha moment. I began to fully invest in a craft which had been buried beneath years of pressure to conform. I have published over 40 articles, most of which have been about culture, history, and individuals who have pioneered social change. Also, I'm currently working on my debut book about lesser known ethnic communities in Southern California. Through writing, I began to reclaim my sense of self, but the journey is only beginning. The next step is learning to express that same confidence as a speaker. This brings me to Toastmasters. One of my biggest stressors is how others perceive my speaking style. I often feel self-conscious and hesitate to voice my opinions, fearing judgment. I want to be true to myself, and I hope Toastmasters will help rebuild my confidence. I look forward to this journey of growth and camaraderie at the Arcadia Toastmasters Club.
Wow.